Good day, here are the top stories. A vice presidential candidate believes the only way to defeat survey front-runners Ferdinand Bongbong Marcos Jr. and his running mate Sara Duterte in the elections is for the other aspirants to form a grand coalition. Rizalito David proposed the alliance during his closing statement in Sunday's debate for vice presidential candidates organized by the Commission on Elections. David suggested that he and the 6 other candidates who participated in the debate should meet and decide whom to support as a common team against Marcos and Duterte Carpio. He called on Duterte Carpio to attend the next debate so the public can find out her plans for the country. Marcos and Duterte Carpio have consistently led these surveys by wide margins. The Department of Labor and Employment or DOLE and the Civil Service Commission or CSC on Monday favored the implementation of a 4-day work week as a way to help workers cope with the rising prices of fuel and other basic commodities. Labor Undersecretary Benjo Benavides said, however, it is up to private companies if they will adopt the alternative work schedule. Before it is implemented, the workers and employers first need to fully understand how the system works, said Benavides. He noted that many private firms have 6 working days a week. The employers have 2 options. They can shorten the 6 working days to 4 days and retain the normal hours of work, or they can reduce both the working days and the working hours. He cited a provision in the labor code that considers any work beyond 8 hours as overtime and that the workers have to be duly compensated. But if employer and employees agree to temporarily implement a compressed work week, Benavides said the Supreme Court allows the worker to waive the overtime premium. The Philippines remains a very low risk for COVID-19, KUWTT research said on Monday. KUWTT cited data from Johns Hopkins University, Our World in Data, and Worldometer showing that as of March 18, the country averages 527 COVID-19 cases a day, 22% lower than the average the week before. The country's average daily attack rate or ADAR is 0.47, KUWTT said. ADAR is the 7-day average number of new COVID-19 cases per day, 100,000 population. 4 other countries in East Asia, Timor-Leste, Taiwan, Cambodia, and China are also classified as very low risk. KUWTT said China is experiencing a COVID-19 surge along with South Korea, Vietnam, and Laos with cases up by 362%. China has fully militarized at least 3 of several islands it built in the disputed South China Sea, arming them with anti-ship and anti-aircraft missile systems, laser and jamming equipment and fighter jets in an increasingly aggressive move that threatens all nations operating nearby, a top U.S. military commander said Sunday. U.S. Indo-Pacific Commander Admiral John Aquilino said the hostile actions were in stark contrast to Chinese President Xi Jinping's past assurances that Beijing would not transform the artificial islands and contested waters into military bases. The efforts were part of China's flexing its military muscle, he said. There were no immediate comments from Chinese officials. Beijing maintains its military profile is purely defensive, arranged to protect what it says are its sovereign rights. The Philippine government will offer benchmark-sized dollar bonds in 3 tranches. Documents shared by a source on Monday showed that the Philippines will issue 5 and 10-year US dollar denominated bonds and a 25-year green bond. The 5-year bonds will mature on March 29, 2027, while the 10-year bonds will mature on September 29, 2032. The 25-year green bonds, meanwhile, will mature on March 29, 2047. Documents showed that the initial price guidance is set around the level of treasuries plus 125 basis points around 45-year bond, 165 basis points over treasuries area for the 10.5-year bond, and 4.7% area for the 25-year green bond. Proceeds from the 5 and 10-year bonds will be for general budget financing, while proceeds from the green bond will be used to finance assets in line with the country's sustainable finance framework. In Sacramento, California, Landry Shamet made a three-pointer with 31 seconds left in overtime moments after missing an open look beyond the arc, and the NBA leading Phoenix Suns beat the Sacramento Kings 127 over 124 on Sunday, Monday in Manila. Suns star Devin Booker scored 19 of his 31 points in the third quarter as the Suns won their fifth straight to improve to 58 over 14, 9 games ahead of second place Memphis for the best record in the league. Shamet finished with 21 points. Center DeAndre Ayton had 12 points and 10 rebounds before fouling out late in the fourth quarter. Backup center Javale McGee had 14 points before fouling out in overtime. Davion Mitchell starting in place of injured point guard De'Aaron Fox had 28 points and 9 assists for Sacramento. Domantas Sabonis had 18 points, 12 rebounds, and 6 assists before leaving with an apparent left knee injury in the fourth quarter. The Kings have lost 10 of 13. In Indian Wells, Taylor Fritz stunned Rafael Nadal 6 over 3, 7 over 6, or 7 over 5 on Sunday, Monday in Manila to win the ATP Indian Wells Masters and end the 21-time Grand Slam champions' perfect 20 over 0 run to start the 2022. Fritz ranked 20th in the world, claimed his second career title and his first at the Elite Masters 1000 level, while denying Nadal a record-equaling 37 Masters crown. The 24-year-old American achieved his biggest triumph despite an injured right ankle that was so painful when he tested it Sunday morning. He didn't think he'd be able to play. Nadal had already said he would skip next week's Miami Masters to give his body a rest and prepare for the clay court season. Today's editorial is about the looming threat from polar warming. Read the full version in the opinion section on print in its digital edition or listen to the voice of the Times. The featured columnists on page 1 are Antonio Contreras and Yen Macabenta. Contreras writes about ill-gotten wealth and the estate taxes of the Marcoses. Macabenta talks about how Bongbong Marcos captured the imagination of the voters and that of his rivals. For more news and information, read the Manila Times on print. Subscribe to its digital edition or log on to www.manilatimes.net. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter, and keep up with the Times. This is Christian Crow Maghanoy reporting.